Mariners win 3-2 over Oakland. They complete the 4-game sweep. And for the first time in 2023, your Seattle Mariners are 2 games over 500. Let's talk about how it happens. In the first inning, Seth Brown does hit a home run off of Logan Gilbert. Boy, will we be talking about Logan Gilbert. To make it 2-0, scores Ryan Noda. Ty France homers to left to make it 2-1. Ty France homers in the 6th to make it 2-2. And then the 8th inning with the bases loaded, Eugenio Suarez walks to score. Ty France. Mariners take the 3-2 lead and they end up hanging on for the win. All right. I suppose the biggest negative from this game is that the Mariners don't get to play the A's until August. It would be nice to play Oakland a lot more this year. Holy crap. I can't get over how bad they are. And I knew they were bad. Like we saw in the 3-game series against them earlier this year, they're bad. I can literally look at their record and tell you how bad they are. 10-42. Whew. I mean, we should keep an eye on Colton Wong's batting average against Oakland's winning percentage. Oh, my goodness. I just about coughed up a lung laughing at the Oakland misfortune. That's karma. Sorry about that. GP Crawford had a pretty poor game. Cal Raleigh has not done well, it seems like, in the DH spot. That position just might be cursed. Maybe the punishment for having the greatest designated hitter of all time, fight me. If you say something different, I'm willing to die on that ledge. The punishment is that, and they had Nelson Cruz too, so they had some two pretty good ones. But maybe the punishment for that is a few years of not so good. Let's see. Anything else negative? Kelnick struggled. The offense was not good tonight. JP Sears has pitched well against them. And I thought Sears pitched pretty well in this one. I had to watch the game this morning because I just didn't have time to watch the game. He pounded the strike zone, throwing everything for strikes. I think my main negative from this game, and we'll get into it as a positive, I really would have liked to have seen Logan Gilbert finish this thing off. He was so good after that first inning, folks. Oh, yeah, we can talk about who it comes against. But he looked the part. He took advantage of the aggressiveness of the Oakland lineup. He was excellent. Really, really, really impressive. Now, on top of not only, because he only threw 77 pitches, folks. I get it's a 1-run game, and you've got Paul Sewald, who once again was outstanding. I get it. I just would have loved to have seen him get the chance to finish it off. Really would have. I don't know why I always say really and stuff like that. I don't think you don't believe me. But it just would have been nice. It would have been nice. I guess the argument would have been that it would have been fourth time through the lineup, third time through the lineup, whatever. Fourth time, yeah. And it was the top of the lineup. It is their 3 competent players, Ruiz, Noda, and Rooker, with a chance for Brown or Langoliers with their power to give them the lead if one of those guys gets on. And Noda did have a couple of hits. Ryan Noda is interesting. The walks are impressive. This guy with a 398 on base percentage is a Rule 5 pick. It's not nearly good enough to make them a competent lineup right now, but he's an interesting name to watch going forward. Anyway, it would have been fun to see Logan get the chance to get the complete game. And honestly, I will say this. Let's say it didn't work out. I would have been okay with it. The process there would have been fine. Because he was just so good, man. 59 of 77 pitches for strikes. And even after giving up that home run in the first, even with giving up that homer in the first, I think that's as good as I've seen Logan Gilbert pitch. Now, I guess my question now is, can he do this consistently? Because we have seen some brilliant mixed with some shaky. Now, I will say the last two have been pretty darn good. And really, 4 of the last 5 have been pretty darn good. So, maybe complaining a little bit too much. Not complaining, just maybe asking for something he's already delivering. Month of May, he's got a 3.06 ERA with a 35-5 strikeout to walk ratio. That'll work. That'll definitely work. And it's crazy to think that might be your 4th starter right now with how well Bryson Miller. I knew I was going to bring it back. I knew it. Didn't want to. Come on, Chris. Bryce Miller, how well he's pitched. Oh, I have no idea. There must be an athlete named Bryson Miller that I've covered either in college football or something that makes me want to add that. I don't know. I know there was a Bryson at Purdue who played tight end. Anyway, the fact that Logan Gilbert might be your 4th starter right now is cray-cray, as the kids probably don't say anymore. Ty France. That's been great to see over the last couple of games. Driving the baseball. Clearly the wrist not bothering him, or hand, or whatever the heck that the actual prognosis was. It's great to see him drive the baseball. It's huge. It is huge for him to get going. 266, 344, 415 is not, it's not the all-star level that Ty France was playing at before. And by the way, Ty France absolutely should have made the all-star team last year. Didn't get a chance to say that before on this whole channel, but we'll say it now. It's not elite by any stretch of the imagination, but it can get the job done. Right now, you've got, it's interesting. You're 9-1-2. You've got on-base percentages of 403, 360, and 344. And then behind those guys, you've got Rodriguez, Kelenic, and Suarez. It's interesting. It's interesting, you know. Julio with another couple of hits. I think this is like 3 of 5 games or something like that where he's had multiple hits. It's going to be fine. I'm a little worried about Kelenic, just a smidgen. Hasn't looked great. Of course, he did hit that 455-foot homer not too long ago. So, you know, just you know, I do think there'll be some ups and downs still for Kelenic. He's 23 years old. Julio is 22 years old. You add them together and you get basically one Rich Hill. Literally and figuratively. Oh, interesting. I guess the Hill would be a lot richer if Kelenic signed the extension. I'm glad he didn't, because for his sake, because I think at this point he's going to get a much bigger payday than he would have gotten in that case. Yeah. Glad I clarified that, because I don't want anyone thinking won't someone think of these billionaires. Man, I really wish they played Oakland more this year. They are impossibly bad. And go check out my podcast I just did with Meg Rowley at Sports Sometimes. It was a blast, and we talked about whether or not Oakland is systemic or if this is just a one-off. It's a little bit of both, as Meg points out very eloquently. Whew. It's bad for baseball, and I don't think it's going to get all that much better anytime soon, to be honest with you. Like when they end up in Oakland, it's not like John Fisher is all of a sudden going to go on spending splurges. That's not happening. So finally 2 games over 500. And now you've got a 3-game set against a Pittsburgh team that has not been playing well. But one, they're much better than Oakland. That's darning with faint praise, to say the least. And 2, tough pitcher on the mound today. Mitch Keller is really good. And as a prospect guy who's written about, Keller for a long time, it's nice to see him pitching at the level that I thought he could. So this will be a tough one. Mariners have George Kirby on the mound, so might be a low-scoring one. Wouldn't shock me if it was anyway. Be really nice to win this series now and give you a 6-1 week, and also a chance for a nice 7-3 homestand at worst. 8-2 should be the goal now. 8-2 homestands. We like them. We like them. Man, I really wish Logan could have gotten that chance to finish that off. That's my only negative from, really, other than the fact that the offense wasn't very good. I'm kind of used to that. And I'm used to seeing pitchers pulled very early. It's modern baseball, folks. Get with it. But 77 pitches. Would have been fun to see him get a chance to finish it off. Please hit like, please hit subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at Crawford_MILB, and go check out Sports Sometimes. It's a fun podcast. Meg and I got to discuss a whole bunch of stuff like, City Connect uniforms, what we've been surprised by with these new rules. And for the second half, she picked a really fun subject. That'll be something fans of Seattle and people who live in Seattle will appreciate a lot. It was a lot of fun. These are a lot of fun, too. Thanks, everybody. Mariners. Good stuff.